enjoy yourself. You about to get a message from yours truly. Sit back and enjoy yourself. You about to hear a message from yours truly. Pure Bama Freeman lifestyle. Ooh, hey. You about to go from city to city. Yeah, yeah. Traveling across this land. Yeah. Pure Bama Freeman lifestyle.
Stories when it's back here. I'm in Tokyo, Japan this time, and I wanted to send a special message out to men, particularly in the age group of 18 to 40, 18 to 35, 18 to 40, in which a lot of men are trying to find their way through the dating landscape. And of course, I'm just an old man. I'm out of the dating world for 100%. I'm in the mating world, and I'm also not in the world of relationships. I'm having a good time living the free agent lifestyle. But I want you to think about this. A lot of men, especially in the United States, suffer from scarcity, a lack of abundance, not only financially, but when it comes to women. And that is because they don't explore the world before they explore women. They try to solve the puzzle with women before they solve their own puzzle. And this comes across with rage bait material that you see men constantly putting out on the internet to get you upset and to blame someone for your lack of abundance and your skills with relationships. Now, this abundance is created by men, or this scarcity. This scarcity is created by men, particularly with dating strategies, religion, and criticizing people based on what type of strategy they use to access women. Now, when you don't explore the world, you create that own scarcity in addition to yourself. And then you find your way trying to solve the problem through rage bait, comment sections, debating women. And has it been, how long has it been since you've been participating in this particular type of content and banter back and forth and debates, and it hasn't moved the needle one bit? This is because men are creating the scarcity in themselves, and other men are creating scarcity in the way you access women. Now, the way you access women is your own business. That should be your own business, because men will never have solidarity when it comes to dating and relationships. They're never going to be solidarity. Men are never going to stick together because we're naturally competitive in how we get access.
Yeah, unfortunate, man. We're gonna talk about it. What's up with y'all, bro? This your boy Bama right here in Pattaya. It's right over there, man. We're gonna get ourselves ready for New Year's. It's New Year's Eve here in Pattaya. We're gonna probably go to Soy 6. We haven't hit that yet, so we're gonna get ourselves ready. So I'm gonna probably be on with you guys for about an hour, maybe two. Right now it is 7:53, about to be 8. So we got plenty of time. We're going to chop it up a little bit before we go hit the New Year's Eve. We're going to watch some fireworks and all that good shit. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. We're going to definitely be putting that content out right over there at Bama the Traveler. Make sure you go and subscribe to that channel. It definitely needs your help. Drop a sub over there to Bama the Traveler. That is the actual travel content. On this channel, we just do live streams. We talk about a variety of things, and we pretty much go with the trend and what the conversations are really about here on YouTube. And we really want to gear this message towards primarily, and it's for anybody, but it's primarily for the Black YouTube space. So with that being said, I hope that y'all are doing well on this Christmas. Well, not Christmas Eve, but New Year's Eve. And I also hope that you will continue to join us, because we definitely need to talk about the most sensitive subjects here on YouTube. So with all of that being considered, I have a couple things that I want to address in this live stream as it pertains to the Black YouTube travel space. And I think that what Coach Greg Adams said towards the tail end of that video that I just previewed is that Black men are so competitive against each other that they never really use that same energy towards other races of men. They tend to take out their frustrations. They tend to take out their willingness to show their anger or their pleasure or their disagreement with the political landscape, and they tend to sort of look at other races as, you know, undefeated or unbeatable, right? Well, they look for a lesser opponent, and they look at the black man as a lesser opponent. So what they tend to do is say, hey, all of that I feel for myself, I'm going to put it towards other races of men, towards my own race of men, and I want to keep those men. When you really look at the bigger scheme of things, they tend to keep that race suppressed. And so it ain't necessarily the quote unquote man that's keeping us down. It's actually the new man, you know what I mean, which is the black man. He's the one that's constantly working towards tearing the black man down. And not only that, that black man also has help with fellow, well, it's other black men, but it's actually the Keishas that follows with it. What those black men do is work on behalf of Keisha, you know, and especially in the black YouTube space, a lot of them will look at Keisha and say, hey, I have to stand up for my community. And so when I see a segment of black men that have, you know, detached themselves from the community, and they start to go up elsewhere to be, you know, appreciated and loved and cared for, and have affection given towards them, then they tend to say, hey, this is a fight against our people. So that's where the competitive nature come to. You know, they tend to say, well, you know, we're not going to stand for this. We're going to, you know, stand up for our community, and we're going to, you know, rally against these renegades. And so we want to show them that it's really their problem, and it's not necessarily the women's problem. Although, you know, they do strings about the women, right? More so than they do the men. But when they go at the men, you can tell there's a little extra to it. It has a lot more meaning to it, and at the root of that is jealousy. And so when we look at it, guys, we have to call it out for what it really is. So when we start to see black men in America that have no desire to go overseas to perhaps open up their dating options to see whether or not it works for them versus what is given in the United States, then those men are actively working for Keisha. Okay? Because let's face it, Keisha is really the main one that's angry about the situation, but Tyrone has to come in and be the enforcement law, or the enforcement arm to the words and the feelings of Keisha. You know, so that's what we see. We see a lot of vitriol, a lot of disdain for men that are taking the approach of, hey, this is not working. We've been watching debate panels, we've watched memes, we watched TikTok, we've seen so many, you know, receipts on how women feel towards the value or the caliber of men that they have available to them, right? And we've seen it. And so what men decided to do is adhere and hear the message that's been projected, and they say, well, you know, what I'm gonna do is, okay, I've identified it, and I think that it's not really worth me making these adjustments or these changes to even give it to this particular type of person. Because let's face it, these women are not putting any work in. All they did was just added more accessories every year. And what I mean by accessories, I'm saying that these women have added longer hair, they have gotten longer eyelashes, they have contoured their eyebrows, and they have gotten all this makeup, and they've done all these BBLs and all these different changes. But that's not real work. We're talking about the inner person. These women have yet to change their mentality. So yeah, they have leveled up financially, and yes, they are in the workforce, and yes, they have become the most educated and all of that. But that hasn't translated into men being or being better men, or having to compete with that. Let's just say that, right? We have to compete now with the very women that's barking about, oh, y'all not this, y'all not that. We have to compete against those people. But people tend to think that that's supposed to translate into stronger families, and men need to shut up, and we need to accept reality for what it is. In reality, that doesn't fit all, right? And that's why I played the video with Coach Greg Adams, is because that model that everybody says that we should work with, it doesn't fit all. It doesn't mean that we all should accept that, right? And so we're not pushing against the guys that are accepting this bargain, right, or this handout or this proposition. We're not fighting against them. Those guys are fighting against us, right? Because they're telling us that, hey, if I can do it, then you should be doing it. No, that's not how it works. Different methodologies, different strategies are for different men, and some things work and some things don't for certain men. So I think that when you start to see men get angry because other men are venturing off and they're going to other places, those men are getting upset and they're becoming jealous. Because let's face it, when they see these men reacting towards their new experience, they look at it like, well, they're not really doing much. They should do it over here, right, in America. Or all of that they feeling, all of that they're doing over there, they could do it right here in America. Not necessarily, because the way that our country is set up is geared towards the hustle and the bustle. And you really don't have a lot of time for enjoyment. You really don't have a lot of time to be quote unquote happy, because there are so many obligations, there's so many responsibilities that you have to, uphold. And I'm not complaining against, I'm just telling you the reality of it. So this white picket fence, American dream, trying to, live this luxurious lifestyle with this one particular person in peace and harmony, for the most part, not all time. It just seems so far-fetched, largely because of the dating pool that we are choosing from. And that dating pool is completely, saturated with pollution, right? And so, yes, I'm not saying that you can't find anybody there. What I'm telling you is that it is not a healthy pool to pull from. Now, however, a man has a better chance of really getting something substantial if he was to open up his dating options. You know what I'm saying? And have a least likely chance to get someone that's toxic, someone that's masculine, someone that is primarily adverse to any type of thing that he want to implement into the family structure, right? Someone that is willing to understand and knows that the hierarchy of any family, it has to start with the man, and that woman is going to support that man because she believes in the vision of that man. And so when you do see guys going overseas trying to explore their options, they're going to approach it no different from if they were in the United States. They're not going to be in a rush to get someone just to say, hey, I got someone and look at me on YouTube that I know that dating overseas works. That's not how it works. There is a progression, you know what I mean? And you have to understand that men are going to take precaution regardless if going overseas is better. They're going to still use the precautionary, because there's still some red flags that you have to avoid even dating overseas. And so, but it's the chances better. I would say better, right? And a lot of people take it, oh, you just shitting on American women. No, what I'm telling you is that men are going to assess the situation, and they're going to look at it as what is beneficial to them. They're not going to accept something just to say, hey, I'm with something. You know what I mean? And so, but the thing is this: when we have black YouTubers that are constantly shaming men and constantly policing men, those men are just merely jealous. Okay, I don't care what they try to, bolster. Like, hey, I got more money than him, or he's dusty. He don't have a hairline, or he doesn't drive a Maserati or a McLaren, a Bentley like me, or whatever. It has nothing to do with that. It's all about um, the will of the man, the path of the man's path, and that's the purpose of this channel, is to get you guys to understand fully that despite what's going on in the Black travel YouTube space, despite what people perception is about us and what they perceive that we are doing, you still have to forge ahead to carve out your own happiness, because there is no cookie cutter way into this, right? Everybody has their own, for, for example, I'm getting a couple suits tailored, okay, and so they have to take measurements. They have to get this thing completely right. Now, I've been down there several times, and y'all seen the stages. If you go to Bama to travel, you'll see the stages. However, they're on their final touches. When I went and actually put on the suit, they still got to do some minor touches, you know what I'm saying? Some different alterations to get the right fit. That's how it is in this dating thing. You can't just say, well, because you're at the suit store, that, hey, that suit actually fits you. No, that suit may be too baggy. That suit is not custom for you. You know what I mean? And so how you customize your suit is go to a specialist. You know what I'm saying? And in this case, I think the specialist is the world itself. You know what I mean? It has whatever you want, and it can tailor whatever woman you want to your fit. You know what I'm saying? But if you just only go to a store, just America, and you just say, hey, this is the only place that you can get a custom suit, then I think you're out of your mind. I think that a lot of men have realized that, and that's why a lot of them are traveling. And I think Black YouTube is has become its own worst enemy. And I think that's what we're now seeing. So without further ado, man, we're going to watch this video again with Coach Greg Adamson. We're going to react to it, because I think that he has spoken a lot of truth as it pertains to men's options and the battle that men have to fight with other men. We're going to preview that, and then we're going to also go into another video that is disturbing, talking about Anton Daniels and his continuum in depolicing, right? So let's get into this, man. Let's get into this word from Coach Greg Adamson. Shout out to him and his travel endeavors.
All right, the Notorious One is back here. I'm in Tokyo, Japan this time, and I wanted to send a special message out to men, particularly in the age group of 18 to 40, 18 to 35, 18 to 40, in which a lot of men are trying to find their way through the dating landscape. And of course, I'm just an old man. I'm out of the dating world for 100%. I'm in the mating world, and I'm also not in the world of relationships. I'm having a good time living the free agent lifestyle. But I want you to think about this. A lot of men, especially in the United States, suffer from scarcity, a lack of abundance, not only financially, but when it comes to women.
And that's true, because the scarcity mindset comes to that there is a lack of premium women. And I'm not saying it from the standpoint that she has to be a dime or a 12 or a 15 on the scale of 10. I'm saying that the overall proposition or makeup, right? You don't have an abundance of those people. And so what the market says is, find the needle in the haystack. Try to just get what you can, and you're not perfect, so just accept whatever it is it has to offer. So
is because they don't explore the world before they explore women.
And the thing is, I know that's part of the free agent lifestyle. I mean, because like I said, I was a staunch follower of Coach Greg Adams, so I'm not opposed to that. And I'm happy that he's really pushing that aspect of his teaching. However, that's something that men should do, and And if he's doing it more regularly, I think that his followers and the people that really rock with him, I think they should follow suit. And then, and only then, you would actually get a broader scope of what we should do. Instead of sitting back red pilling and shaming women, you can absolutely gain your power back by just having some discipline and gain access or more access to capital, build yourself up, and then find a better mate.
Try to solve the puzzle with women before they solve their own puzzle. And this comes across with rage bait material that you see men constantly putting out on the internet to get you upset and to blame someone for your lack of abundance and your skills with relationships. Now, this abundance is created by men, or this scarcity. This scarcity is created by men, particularly with dating strategies, religion, and criticizing people based on what type of strategy they use to access women. Now, when you don't explore the world, you create that own scarcity in addition to yourself. And then you find your way trying to solve the problem through rage bait.
You know, a lot of it is shaming too. You know, I will say that if you don't measure up to what the dating coaches are saying on YouTube, or your favorite podcaster, or your favorite debater against women, if you don't level up to their expertise and their standards, then you're a loser, you're lame, you know, you're the problem, you're the reason why you're not getting women, and essentially you're an incel. So if you're not living up under their creed, up under their ideology, then you're less than. So he's absolutely right with this. I think that they're creating this competitive environment, and it's really in a lot of ways turns into a sport. That if you don't level up with American women, then you're nobody. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
Comment sections, debating women. And has it been, how long has it been since you've been participating in this particular type of content?
And that's something that I had, that's the reason why I broke away from Coach Greg Adams. And shout out to him. I had no problem. I have no personal problem with him because I don't know him personally. However, I will say that I watched him for like 2 years straight before I just kind of got exhausted. And that was, okay, after we know female nature, then what? You know, he hasn't never, I have yet to see him debate a woman, you know what I'm saying? That has never been his thing, and shout out to him for it, because I'm with him on that. I don't see the need to debate a woman. But I will say that there has to be a solution to understanding female nature. After you've gotten, you know, red pilled, what do you do next? What do you do with that message? Do you become a theorist, or do you become a practitioner? Do you practice what you say that you believe? And what is that practice? What is that philosophy of practice? I think that once you understand what you're dealing with in the matrix, then you have to make adjustments. And I think the adjustments at this point is men, if they are looking for better options in dating, I think they should go overseas. Now, notice I said dating. I didn't say nothing about SMEX tourism. I didn't say nothing like that. I'm just telling you that if American women are not going to, I guess, be in the business, I wouldn't say the business, but being in the spirit of wanting to value their men, please their men, and to honor their men and respect them, most importantly. If they're not willing to do any of that, then men should opt out and go somewhere else. And I don't think that the strategies of men debating women, shaming them into being something that they wasn't made to be. You know, American women have been made into being competitors and workers and educators and stuff like that. And I think that there is a pushback on that. And people don't want to accept that pushback. They think that, oh, the men are weak. The men should come back to the table. Men should, all this other shit. But anyway, let's keep going.
and banter back and forth and debates, and it hasn't moved the needle one bit. This is because men are creating the scarcity in themselves, and other men are creating scarcity in the way you access women. Now, the way you access women is your own business. That should be your own business.
Now, when he said that the men are creating scarcity within themselves, or for other men rather, he's saying it from the standpoint that these content creators are, in my opinion, and he may not be saying this, but I'm saying it appears that the content creators are setting the standards, and if you don't oblige to those standards, then that means you are the lame. Because the content creator believes that he's speaking on behalf of the women. The content creator believes that he knows what the women want because he has a girlfriend. So his girlfriend is a representation of the dating culture, or his marriage or his wife is a representation of the dating culture, when in reality, he fails to understand that he is an anomaly to the rule. Okay, he's just an exception, but it don't mean that he's exceptional. It's just that he's in a situation that could be and would be in jeopardy if he doesn't oblige to what the dating culture demands of him. So I think that it ain't a matter of if, as they say, it's just a matter of when.
Because men will never have solidarity when it comes to dating and relationships. They're never going to be solidarity.
Yeah, it's a lot of backstabbers. You know what I'm saying? The black men in America, black YouTube, are backstabbers. You know, and I think that all of us have participated in it. You know what I'm saying? We participated in it, and the sad thing about it is we expect other races of men. Going back to that point, we expect other races of men to respect us. We want to be in alignment with them, or be on the same level as them, right? We're constantly trying to fight to be in the cookout or be invited, right? But we haven't did the necessary things, and we haven't made the right steps collectively, not in our own individual way. And I'm saying that most of us have, in our own individual way, have come up with solutions and strategies to appear to be on the side of men. But as a collective, it hasn't fully developed. And largely because we have, in the next video, you'll see why we haven't gotten to that point, largely because we got competitors. We got men trying to pander to a very small minority of women that they say we should all compete for. So that's the problem.
Men are never going to stick together because we're naturally competitive in how we get access to women. And many men will never be apologetic about this. They will not leave women on the table just so you can get some out of pity or duty. With that being said, you have to find your own way. And one of the ways that I do is I provide that way for you, but you don't have to listen to it. You certainly don't have to do it.
You know, and that's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? We've all given you strategy. You know what I'm saying? All of us black content creators, we have given you strategy after strategy after strategy after strategy. And I think that it's upon the men to do what's best for them. You know what I mean? Appreciate y'all for coming through. Thank you for coming through, Salamain Gaming. Thank you for coming through. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you're new, sub to the channel, and also go follow us over there on Kick. Go follow us over there on Kick. Go follow us over there on Kick. Tag that at the top. But again, Black YouTube has become his own worst enemy, man, and it has been very influential in the movement that we now see. You know what I'm saying? It has become very, very influential. And now we're at a crossroads, especially through this new debacle with Floyd, right? And so you have those that was at the top of it. They're starting to sort of shuffle and try to gain some form of control about the situation. And now we see people having the opportunity to pounce on that. And that's what we really want to talk about, how YouTube has become its own worst enemy. We now starting to see men take advantage of I wouldn't say a mistake, but the sickness within a movement, right? Because every movement you have people that are sick, bad apples in every bunch, right? They want to exacerbate, or they want to pretty much ignite this idea that these men are dangerous as a collective, not the individual that did the heinous crime, right? Not the sick one. Don't focus on the sick one. Let's look at the actual group, right? Whether they are sympathizers or whether they're individuals, it don't really matter. We're going to put them all in the same boat, because we think that the congruent thing that they all do is travel. So let's look at all of them as passport bros, right? And it doesn't matter if these guys say, hey, I'm not a passport bro, or I'm not part of the group. They didn't recruit me, right? They didn't say, hey, we want you to become a part of the passport. I have yet gotten an invitation. Nobody has invited me to say, hey, become a passport bro. You know, come on in and become one of us. Nobody's never said that. You know, nobody. So you can't say everybody is a passport bro. Black YouTube could be such a powerful platform if we work together. That's absolutely true. HYT11MM. Yeah, it would be ideal, but it ain't gonna happen because they too busy trying to get viewers and subscribers and money, and I get it. You know, you want to make money, and so I think that in that same token, if you want to make money, then you also want the respect, because most people that get money want the respect to come with it. So you're not going to get the respect if you're not respecting the people that you are representing, bro. Hold on. Let's focus on building each other up instead of tearing each other down. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we should absolutely come down as a collective on Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Because of his sickness. I mean, I'm not gonna call it mental sickness because I'm not I'm not a psychologist or nothing like that. What I'm saying is his behavior is sick. So we should collectively come together and denounce that or do streams about that. That's not the tearing down part I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that you had men that were talking about this person previously, but they wasn't necessarily being promoted. You know, if these bigger YouTubers was to see that there were smaller channels that were doing content on the very person that they thought was misrepresenting the travel space, then they should have been helped promoting those guys instead of bringing that particular person that they're now talking about, put him on the platform, and then say, hey, you know, Yeah, he's got a he's hot on YouTube, or he's great or whatever, and then all of a sudden when he do this, now you want to shuffle back to what us regular YouTubers was talking about. It don't work like that, bro. The infighting only hurts us as a community in the long run. Yeah, it does. I mean, um, the thing is that these a lot of these guys that were they're leaders, you know what I'm saying? They don't want anybody to critique them. They don't want nobody to tell them things that could help the collective. You know what I'm saying? And promoting Floyd was not the move. You know what I mean? I don't know what made them think that that was a smart move, promoting Floyd, but it was a dumb move. You know what I'm saying? So, in order to get the ideology right or the projection right, you need to put the right people as the face of it. Don't be out here live streaming, building capital, building platforms with a weird pedo. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now I don't think they would. I mean, sure, someone would try to interview him if he had access to be interviewed. They would love to take the interview for the numbers. However, they don't look at the bigger picture, as in this would actually hurt my reputation. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to look at it like that. They're going to look at it like, hey, I'm just trying to get some numbers and I want to build my subscriber base. It ain't got no morality put on it. We have so much potential to make a positive impact. Let's not waste it. Yeah, I think channel like mine's primarily, I'm gonna promote my own channel, of course, but these type of channels is gonna have to be promoted more, because we gonna, for the most part, gonna be a lot more responsible than the people that they have promoted. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any pity for people that have pushed the people that they want to push. They wanted to push Floyd. They wanted to push Austin. So by them doing that, then they have to accept what they promoted. Stop acting like because somebody is viral that's the only way to put out good content, bro. I hope we can come together and support one another in the future. I mean, it's possible, but you're only gonna get that done um, with a minority of people. And any movement is only gonna take the minority. Hold on. Let's remember that we're stronger together than we are apart. I got some great comments today. I definitely agree with this. This is the idea. Like, you have this, and you have like this. Which one would you rather be hit with, right? Would you rather be hit with that? Now you can hit people even with that. I mean, even by us being separated into all these different, red pill, passport bro, you know, MGTOW, and blue pill, and all this other shit, right? We can make an impact. There's a lot of weapons that could be hit with this, right? But the one that really would take you out, I mean, all of them can, but you rather be like this versus like this. You know what I mean? Because this is division. It's you can do some things with it, but you definitely could do damage with that. And I think that this comment is very true. Very, very true. Unity is key to overcoming the obstacles we face as a community. Yeah. I don't know why you put a rainbow there, but I'm not with the rainbow, so sorry about that. I understand the points you're making. Um, yeah. So that's what we have, bro. I think that is the one is not the it's not the system, it's not the man, it's just the black man, bro. So we're gonna preview this other video. Let's let's check this out, bro.
He's no longer a passport bro. That's what he just told me.
The definition that people are saying about passport bros, I'm not with all that.
The definition that people are saying about passport bros, I'm not with all that.
Bring me.
And that's the point. Like, it's so many definitions, whether it's somebody that is a passport bro or somebody that is not a passport bro. The people that's not passport bros, or they're adversarial towards passport bros, those people have their own definition of what a passport bro is. And then you have people that are not passport bros that say that they're not or haven't been officially put into the group. They have their own definition of what a passport bro is. And, you know, so they may call themselves something else, you know. However, the idea may be the same, you know. So I think that people will have their own opinion about stuff that they just disagree with. You know what I mean?
Everyone. What do you mean everyone?
Everyone!
Hey, shout out to OG Passport. This is his video, fair use, fair use, fair use, but we're going to react to it.
Yep, we dibble and dabble a little bit, but you got to come home. Come home. You degenerate ass passport bros, we're going to go through. We going to get our heart broke. We going to have a hoe or two over here. We going to like a white chick here or there.
Hey, boys, look what I got here.
I got a big dick. Thick, round, girth.
Hold on, bro. Again, this is de-policing, de-measuring, pissing contest. This is what black YouTube do, bro. That's all they want to do. They want to talk about how, you know, they got this and they got that going on. When in reality, going back to Coach Greg Adams' point is, one size doesn't fit all, man. Thailand is going great. They think one size fit all, bro. It's unfortunate. It's just unfortunate, bro. Hey, dog, stop texting me, man. No, I don't want you contacting me anymore. I'm not interested in that no more, man. I want to do my own thing. Leave me alone. Please. I don't have no more money for you folks. But anyway, stop fucking up my stream, man. Black men definitely need to sort of get a grasp on it, you know, and figure out what's best for them and not get in the business of tearing each other down. Because I think that when a man worry about the peer pressure, he's not fulfilling his own personal obligations, you know, or fulfilling his own needs. And so I think that we should primarily focus on that, find out exactly what it is we want, and we go out and pursue it. I think that in this video with OG Passport, he's gonna reveal why it's important that we carve out our own path, you know, versus living other people's dreams. So let's get back into this video.
Hey, where are the white women at?
But you always supposed to come back home. Come home.
Anton trying to tell American men, at least, that they need to stay in America and do right by American women, and they know that American women are wayward, but you got to stay here anyway and fight the good fight.
There's a lot of guys that don't want to date American women anymore. Now, Europe, and you see old videos, European women, oh, you're so nice, you're so this, blah, blah, blah.
Wake up! Men love mean women. If you not mean, you gonna get used and abused.
Guys this is like the passport bro thing, where guys just say, I'm out.
Is that your baby?
That is, I'm sorry. My mom normally watches her. For me. Mom, can you watch? I'm sorry.
What is the name, Carla?
Go with Grammy. Yes, my name is Carla. Go with Grammy real quick, Mama. I gotta run. Don't follow
Where
me.
you calling me from?
Don't follow.
You know, I'm going to like Japan, or I'm going to wherever I'm going, right? I'm going to Europe. I'm going wherever I need to go to get away from these toxic.
Guys, women are not cooking anymore. Women are not cooking anymore. My grandma does not cook. My mom does not cook. I don't cook.
American women. That's right, I said it. Right? That's right, I said it. Toxic American women. That are so full of themselves, they're ingrates, they're bashing you on social media.
If a man is at a big age and he said he never get married, it's two things, right? Either he's into men, or he's just a huge cheater.
They're like treating their husbands like badly behaved kids.
So Megan Thee Stallion said that Klay Thompson was the first man to ever treat her so nice and so kind. And it has sparked a conversation on Twitter of men talking about the tragic experience of being a woman's first good man. So I took it upon myself to royally piss off the men having this conversation and say, being a woman's first good man is the price that men pay for not holding their male counterparts accountable to be better and exiling the ones who refuse to step up. This wouldn't be a thing if more of y'all were good.
Guys don't want it anymore.
I'm so sad to hear her cry.
Not really.
But you always supposed to come back home. Come home.
You know, my thing is, why is Anton so... He's so adamant about men coming home. The very men that he called Dusty and all this shit, lame. Why he want these people to come back home and date the very women that he talk about too? Like, he talk about the women and he talk about the passport bros. Why he want these dudes to come back home, man? I'm gonna block this dude, man.
Anton, men in the West, men in America, for Anton in specific, black men in America don't owe black women anything.
That's a great point. Black men do not owe black women anything, bro. Black men do not owe black women anything. As a collective or as an individual. They don't owe him anything. And I think they have given them everything. They have given them power. Hell, you know what I'm saying? Here, you can have it. Right? You can be the leader of the black community. Just gave it away. What's the point? What's the point of making men come back to just fit into the community? Oh, we are weak. We just, yeah, we're weak. We're not there to fight, Well, we're not just fighting her. You have to fight the system. Can't the black man beat the system? No. He knows that. So why would he fight against her when he knows she's representing the system? So the man is working to get out of the system and follow his own path. What's the point of him fighting against something that cannot lose? The man is not going to fight against that. So he don't owe her a fight. He don't owe her none of that. He just need to move on and find his own way.
The women have let you know they owe you nothing. And yet, y'all are talking like...
We don't like a white chick hearing it.
Can you tap that white girl from me?
Because you become sex tourists and then they say, well, don't dick police me. Nigga, don't nobody want to dick police your little penis.
You're interested in something. Yes, you do. Why are you on YouTube? Why are you doing so many videos? Of course you do. You're constantly doing the reactions. And you couldn't wait on this one because Floyd, we all knew he was weird. You knew he was weird. There's no way that the larger picture of black men, you're saying that we're all about this particular type of guy? Are you saying that the men that travel overseas, that Floyd actually represent all of those men? Are you saying that all of the men that travel overseas are broke like Floyd? Y'all know better than that. And how we know that y'all know better than that is because you're working so hard to get those men to come back home. And the reasons for that is because you know those men have resources. You know that those potential men or even younger men are the ones that are going to be possibly marrying your daughter. I have a daughter, you know what I'm saying? But if my daughter chooses to go opposite of what I taught her, then she's got to pay the price. It's just that simple. I'm not going to be bailing her out. She has to deal with that. So you got guys like Anton that has a daughter. I have a daughter. Other men have daughters. Those men say, we've seen how their mothers turned against us. So why would I even be worried about that? They don't give a fuck about you, so why should you give a damn about them? So there's nothing to come home back to. That's what it really boiled down to. Let's go.
I got a big dick. Thick, round, girth.
The Declaration of Independence, the cornerstone document by which America was formed, will turn 250 years old in 2026. Its second paragraph begins, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." I'm old enough to remember when we took civics class seriously in America, learning of John Locke's principles, life, liberty, and property, later becoming life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And I think that black men don't have that opportunity because you got these policemen like Anton and others that's trying to get us to come back to the plantation.
In the Declaration of Independence. Of course, America has never been a completely perfect country, especially for black people, and in my case, black men, but it is, at least on paper, attempted to move towards being the country that it professed that it wanted to be at its inception.
Passport OG, shout out to you for your content. Think you do great work. Continue the work, great work, man. And salute to you. Thank you for letting me use your content, brother.
All jokes aside, we find ourselves 250 years removed from the transcription of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness into the American ethos. And in this 250th year of the living Declaration of Independence, we have a group of Americans looking to pursue their happiness. A group of Americans called Black Male Passport Travelers that you may know as Passport Bros. Are they met with celebration and with encouragement of pursuing the foundation ideals of the American Republic? Or are they met with ridicule, talk of anatomy size, and of taunts to come home?
That's the real point. These people that are doing content against black men that travel are not our friends. Those people are adversarial, they're hostile, they're contentious, they're negative, they're toxic, to add on to it. And those people really wish you harm in a lot of ways, So I would say one of those ways is get you to come back to a toxic dating culture that hasn't went through its own detoxing or it hasn't seen therapy, right? People are busy saying, black men that's traveling overseas, why don't you go back and fix the women or fix your community? Why are you running from it? Because as they tell black men they should go and see or seek therapy, then that same community that's projecting or saying those things Those are the same people that haven't yet done it themselves. The community hasn't done any therapy. It hasn't did any training. It hasn't did anything. You know? So what would be the real point? What would be the real point? I think that men should look for avenues that will give them the best ability, the best opportunity, and they should move forward with that. Otherwise, you'll be in the crosshairs of other people's ideas. You're going to constantly be at somebody else's wishes. And you'll never be happy because you'll be too busy trying to please them. So y'all come through, hit the like button, man. If you're new, sub to the channel. Definitely appreciate it. We're going to be on for a little bit longer, and then we're going to get ourselves ready for New Year's here in Thailand. Got to get ourselves ready for New Year's, bro. We're going to step out. We're going to go out there to Soy 6. We're going to go out there to Soy 6, man. We're gonna continue to react to that video. Hope that y'all heard it. Hope the sound is good. Hope all is well. Let me check out something real quick. It's kind of strange. Say it is what it is. We're gonna go back to this video though. React to.
And why is it especially for only this group of men that are met with this kind of ridicule when they're trying to seek out their basic American rights? An unfortunate reality for Edo's black men since before the inception of America is that we never really had the opportunity to be judged as individuals, even by those who champion the ideas of rugged individualism and personal responsibility. When it comes to black men, all black men go in the same cart. One black man does something wrong, all black men are bad.
And that's what happened. Is even with the relationships. If one black man and one black woman breaks up, then that means that all black men are bad. If one black man goes overseas and he is a pedo, then all black men are pedos and predators. Right? All the passport bros are pedos and predators. Smex tourism and all that shit. Everybody, you know, if he's a passport bro and he doesn't do smex tourism, then he's still a smex tourism because he's holding the title of passport bro. And that's what he's talking about, which is spot on.
And not only is this something that black men have had to deal with from the society at large, but it's something that we've had to deal with even from people inside of our own quote-unquote group of black men. The question that I have for the outspoken critics of black male passport traveling passport bros is a very simple one. Will you cover this story of a Latino, I think even Caucasian man, having an incident in an elevator with the same zeal and gusto that you did the story that you covered on the black male passport traveler who said he's not even a passport bro? Will you? Are you going to judge all Latinos the same way that you judged all black men? Are you going to say that because this one man had this incident in an elevator, that means that all Latino men need to be judged and castigated the same way?
No, Anton and them not going to do that. Anton and them don't even have the, unfortunately, Passport OG, Anton and them are not even intelligent enough to come up with that simple, basic principle that you and I understand, right? We all know this, right? And there are many stories like that, but people, detractors, haters, you know, are people that are not intelligent enough to see it from that lens. Let's just be honest, they're just not intelligent enough to see that, right? Because Anton's whole idea is to target black men. And again, it goes to my earlier point that Anton directly sometimes, or most times indirectly, work for Keisha. He just do, you know, and a lot of time he spew out of his mouth the same talking points.
Then why are you doing that for black men? Especially when the Declaration of Independence calls for the pursuit of happiness for all men, even if at its inception we weren't men yet. And in a question directly to Anton Daniels, I simply ask, do you believe in judging men by the content of their character and the sum of their deeds, or by the color of their skin?
Anton is a racist. I mean, he's self-racist. He's a self-hater, right? And it's evident. Now, we do it, Passport OG. I'm not sure that your content talks about these bad behaviors about black men. I do it. But there are things that I say to help these people to become better. And I have did reaction videos after reaction videos on Floyd, on Austin prior to this big story to help them. One being that one of the things I try to help them out with is showing them an example of hard work and to go out and get a job. That's something I promoted. That's something I pushed on my channel to help them become better men. Even with Jay Rello, I've even gave him the same advice. You know, yeah, we don't agree with their tactics or what they do in life. However, we can get on social media and advocate that they go out and do the right thing as men. Because I understand that when they go out and do the type of content that they were doing, it sends off a bad signal, a bad message, and it fucks up our image. And so, yeah, in one moment I'm telling them about this, but then in the next moment I'm also giving them advice as a 46-year-old man to help them sort of push themselves in a better position in the future, you know. So a lot of these guys have blocked me. Well, I'm gonna say blocked me, but a lot of them have kicked me off of their out of their chat and called me trolls, all kinds of shit. And so, yes, there is a dynamic of black YouTube being the enemy, but there are also people that appear to be the enemy that is there as a friend trying to help them become better men. But obviously, some of these people cannot be helped. You know, it cannot be helped. And so we wouldn't even be using these people as an example or teaching examples if we didn't have big YouTubers promoting them. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just a variety of ways we can sort of look at this thing.
Your content as of late seems to believe that it's okay to say that all black men that have passports going overseas should be lumped into one category as S-tourists, instead of looking at the kinds of lives that men are living overseas. You're skipping over the unalienable rights of Americans, and that black men included have the right to pursue happiness. Unless, of course, you don't see black men as true Americans.
That was a great video. Shout out to Passport OG. Shout out to him. And I thought that he spoke a lot of good truths. You know, I thought he spoke a lot of good truths. We're gonna drop this down here. Y'all want to support the channel? Make sure y'all go to $Pierre Baumer Freeman, $Pierre Baumer Freeman on Cash App and on PayPal and Chimes. You can go to Pierre Baumer TV. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. If you want to support the channel, definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate it, guys. But those are the two things I wanted to highlight. I think that in closing is black men have become its worst enemy. And I'm talking about the plantation bros fighting against men that travel, aka the passport bros per se. Those men have yet to really attack those men that are mad and all this other shit. And they found it a way to say, hey, we want to shit on what they're doing. Pushing that we come back to a broken home or broken house. Telling us that we need to make it work and fix the issue and go to therapy and be the ones to take accountability for why the house is broken. No, the house is broken because that's what the house wanted to do. The house voted out the man, you know. And I think part of his content, talking about Anton and other haters and detractors, is that y'all know that to be true. You know that the black community or the black house itself voted the man out. They wanted the man be less than or equal to the woman, you know, and so that's not going to work. And with all of that being the case, if you want black men to subject themselves to that, then you should be asking other races of men to do the same. And I don't think that other races of men will accept that as a means of success to any community. So they probably would look at you like you're a dweeb and a dummy and weak. And so, and I think you are intelligent enough or trained enough to know that you're not going to ask them to do that, you know. So yeah, man, that's the way I see it. I don't really see it no other way. You know, I don't see it no other way. So with all that being considered, appreciate y'all for coming through, man. It's your boy Bama the Traveler. Had to come to you again about Black YouTube. Black YouTube, man, listen. Doing content on each other and trying to tear each other down ain't the solution. It hasn't worked. It will not work. And as long as you're feeding into the narrative, then you're going to further the agenda of tearing us down. So I don't expect you to grow anytime soon. I don't see any other race of people respecting us. If that is one of the end goals, I don't see that happening because you have no self-respect. So with all that said, hey, all skin folk ain't kin folk, and I understand that. I know that to be true. So with that, man, we're going to get out of here. Definitely appreciate everybody for coming through and watching the channel, watching this stream. And we out of here, bro. Definitely appreciate it.